Hi, I want to talk about a series called The Rig, which is on Amazon Prime. It's a 6-part series. It follows the story of a bunch of oil rig workers in the North Sea in an oil field, and something suddenly happens. There is a rumble in the ground, a fog with a sort of ash comes over them, all very mysterious, and then they realise that there is something in the fog, and things start happening. There are spoilers in this review, but not mega spoilers. These things get all discovered by, say, the 3rd episode. It turns out there is an organism from deep within the layers of the earth that has been reawoken due to works by the oil company that they are employed by, and it wants to wipe the slate clean and reset things, i.e. get rid of all of the oil rigs and try and reinvigorate the earth's life. You see that it makes plants grow places, it can heal people, it brings one guy back from the dead essentially. He's on the cusp of dying and it fully heals his wounds after a terrible accident. He sort of becomes their avatar for this organism, but it's intelligent. And what you really have is no monsters running around or anything like that, but you've got this pressure cooker of the people trapped on the rig. They want to get home to their families, they want to know what's going on. The chain of command is slowly breaking down. There's Ian Glenn as the head of the oil rig. I want to say captain, but I know it's not a ship, but essentially a captain-like character. Operations manager. He is trying to hold on to control, but people are kicking off. There are various personalities on the rig, and you see these tensions rise as they try various things. And then later on in the series, more things are revealed and it becomes clear what is going on. I won't say what it is, but there's a bit of an ecological message in there. There were some nice little debate bits in it, and I really enjoyed it. Some people get pissed off because they'll go, "Oh, the effects aren't any good." I thought the effects were okay. It's got that feel of a sort of British sci-fi feel. And by that, I suppose what I'm thinking of is when I used to watch things as a kid in the 80s, and it would be sort of very barren feeling. There'd be a very basic colour palette, very basic soundscape. It wouldn't be like, say, Doctor Who now, where it's all flashing lights everywhere and all music going. The tension comes from the lack of music, the lack of over dramatics, and I like that because it feels more real. It's more scary when it's real. I mean, it's not a terrifying series. I mean, you'll immediately draw comparisons to things like The Thing, where it's people isolated, working class guys isolated in an area, amongst other things, and it's not as if this type of material hasn't been explored before. There's X-Files episodes and other films and that about this, but I enjoyed this. For the length of the show, I think I'm glad they kept it to 6 episodes. It can't maintain a sort of horror tension throughout it. I think the only series that's been able to do that and maintain a stressful tension is Black Summer on Netflix, but that has episodes of some are 15 minutes long, some are 40 minutes long, and it's got that over-the-shoulder camera action feel to it. But that's sort of very unique in its way. But I think this is a very good dramatic show, and if you like that sort of British sci-fi feel where there's a bit of discussion, it's not Hollywoodized at all, and you're willing to stomach sort of not top end effects, because I mean, if you've been watching Lord of the Rings of Power where they've got 50 odd million pounds an episode, and then you switch to this, you'll go, "Oh, the effects are terrible." But if you can go, "Look, the effects are fine," they use them where they need to use them, they show them when they need to show them, and they're very clever with how they use it. I think you'll be happy, particularly when you think the effects were on par with Shang-Chi, where some of the compositing for backgrounds on that just looked awful, and this is nowhere near as bad as that, and I think it really gives it a bit of an eerie quality anyway. It ends where you can either call it a day for the series, but it is sort of a bit open-ended. If you've seen the BBC series Survivors, it ends in a similar manner to that. I won't say any more, but if you're a fan, you'll know what I mean. If you're not, that's fine, there's no spoilers there. But I would say give it a watch if you want something with a cracking cast of British actors, made up primarily of Scots and Owen Teale from Wales, who's doing a really good job as an abrasive fellow who, if when you've worked somewhere long enough, you would have met. I know I've met people like that. yeah, it's just really worth watching. Let me know what you think about it. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.